from 0 to 160 million in annual revenue in a total of 7 years with minimal funding. Obviously, an incredible story. Hello and welcome to this episode of Confessions of a B2B Marketer. I am your host, Tom Hunt, and today we are going to be talking about ClickFunnels, an absolutely incredible B2B SaaS story which doesn't follow your typical build an MVP, raise some money, sell some customers, raise some more money, scale IPO. It's more of a, let's say, online marketing / information infused growth story. What I find super interesting about stories like this and the videos episode that we did a couple of months ago is that maybe not every SaaS brand is going to take on the whole like hardcore internet marketing, selling coaching courses, etc. But I still think there is a massive amount that we can learn, or that typical non-online-ish marketers can learn about how these companies have been able to grow to hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue with little funding. So let's jump into that in a second after we've given a quick shout out to Fame.so, who is the business that produces this show. It's also my business. We start and grow profitable podcasts for B2B companies. We find the guests, we produce the assets, and we take accountability for growing the show. So go to Fame.so or click the link in the show notes. Okay, so this story starts at the start of Russell Brunson's online marketing career. He finds something to sell. I don't know exactly what it was, but he built a product and it was going to cost people $40. Oh, I see. I've got it here in my notes. It was the DIY screen projector. So it was essentially a course to explain to people how they can build a screen projector. And so his distribution for this was going to be to buy 1 million email addresses, set up all the technical things you needed to do. This was over a decade ago, so there's quite a lot of technical things you needed to do to enable you to send 1 million emails. So he sets that up and he starts sending these emails, and then he's kind of waiting for the sales notifications to come through, but actually he didn't get any immediately. His phone rings and it's somebody from the ISP provider saying that actually we've had to cut you off because you've been spamming. And so he doesn't make the millions that he was thinking he was going to make to enable his wife to stop working. But he does go to the library a couple of days later to check out if he's managed to actually make any sales. And he had. And this was the first taste that Russell had of making money by selling something on the internet. And so over the next 10 years, he spent loads of money and loads of time trying, failing, winning, failing, and slowly then winning over time in order to create products and sell them on the internet until he meets Todd Dickerson and Dylan Jones, where they start ClickFunnels. Fast forward to today, and ClickFunnels revenue is a private company, so estimated to be over $160 million in revenue in 2022. After launching initially in 2015 with zero revenue. So from 0 to 160 million in annual revenue in a total of 7 years with minimal funding. Now, obviously, one of Russell's businesses, or the previous business, put cash in to fund the initial MVP of ClickFunnels, but as far as I'm aware, no further funding has been added into the company. So obviously an incredible story. So let's jump into this now. We're going to have 10 growth levers of 10 growth learnings that we're going to run through. Let's do this. All right, growth lever number 1. So I mentioned that Russell had the 1 million email list that he bought in order to promote his very first product ages ago. But what Russell also had by the time that ClickFunnels or the ClickFunnels MVP was launched was an email list of 1 million people, but they were now opt-in subscribers from the previous decade or so of having affiliate offers, of producing free content to give away in exchange for the email address, and also for selling information courses. So obviously, if you have 1 million people on your email list that presumably have gained value from you previously, then if you want them to test something for free that you've built, it's very likely that you're going to get people to do this. If we just run through some normal metrics on this, if he sends 1 million emails to, let's say, a warm-ish opt-in list, he's going to get 30% open rate, a 300K opens, maybe a 5% click-through rate, that's 50,000 clicks. If he was selling something at a buy rate of 0.05%, that gives him 5,000 customers. Now, In this case, they actually just had the ClickFunnels beta that was open that was free to use, and they immediately put 200 people into that beta from the email list straight away. So Russell and the team didn't have to spend a load of time like cold messaging people on LinkedIn or just cold emailing people that didn't know them. The fact that Russell had this personal brand beforehand would have sped up the process, would have got a lot of feedback back into the product faster, that would have enabled them to improve the product to get to a point when they could charge for it faster. And so I see this a lot now anyway, especially on LinkedIn, is founders of companies building an audience, whether that's the email list, whether that's the podcast like this, or whether it's the LinkedIn audience or the Twitter audience, is such a massive advantage for finding those first users, but also, of course, for finding customers, for finding employees. And so if you're a B2B marketer now, I would highly recommend having some kind of strategy for empowering the people within your business, especially leadership, to build that audience, build that personal brand, because it will massively shortcut processes or shortcut things you're trying to achieve in the process of the current business. Growth lever number 2. This is super interesting. And what we're going to do in this growth lever is just quickly break down the process that someone has to go through in order to buy ClickFunnels. So just for some context, a couple of years ago, per month, they were spending around 70K on ads. They were getting 100,000 K sessions per month from organic. And everybody was being exposed to really this masterclass of sales funnels that you have to go through if you want to buy something from ClickFunnels. Because obviously, all the pages on the ClickFunnels website are made from ClickFunnels. So let's quickly walk through this. We get to the homepage. There's a very attractive video on the right-hand side. There's the clear call to action for the 14-day free trial. You get into that and you sign up. And feel free to go to clickfunnels.com to follow this through yourself. So once you sign up, just the email address and password, then you get to the very first upsell, the upsell for a free trial of ClickFunnels Platinum, which costs significantly more than the normal ClickFunnels trial you've just signed up for. Next up, you go to the sign up page where you need to add the credit card. And there's the awesome little, just the one-time offer where you click a button to add this $47 training into the funnel. That's awesome. If you try to exit, there's the exit pop-up. And then once you've done that, you get onto the next upsell, which is for a $100 further set of information teaching you how to use the software. And then we get to another step in the funnel prior to closing where you can opt in to get a completely free t-shirt and this video from founder Russell Brunson. And then you pick size and it will get sent to you if you're starting the free trial. Now, of course, that is both going to potentially share a viral aspect as you get everybody signing up for a free trial, getting a t-shirt for free, which is just advertising for them. But it's also going to build the connection between yourself and the product. If you're wearing the t-shirt, then you're obviously in your head like, yes, I'm part of this. So it is in theory going to be also increasing those conversion rates. So just in summary, going through that process of going to the homepage and getting the 14-day free trial, we've been upsold 3 times. And the total amount of those upsells, if we select them all, is $376, as well as being on the free trial for the 97 or the 297 subscription product. We've also been indoctrinated by their CEO in this 20-minute video. That's the thing you have to watch to learn about how to get the free t-shirt, which is also reducing the likelihood of the churn. And so really the point I'm making here is that onboarding funnel is pretty incredible, pretty different from anything you'd experience in another SaaS product, and is definitely going to be impacting, or the things they're putting in there are definitely going to be impacting A, the virality of their product due to the t-shirt, B, the average order value from people just jumping into the free trial, but then also B, the conversion from free trial into customer because I've got the t-shirt, because I've been indoctrinated by their founder, Russell. And then at the same time, they're also proving to me the value of their tool because they can do all this crazy cool stuff that they've been able to do in that funnel. And that's what I'm going to be able to do with my business as I go through and create my account and start building some pages. So it's almost like a demo as you're going through their sales funnel. Growth lever number 3, work out the way to acquire customers profitably. So going back to the story, ClickFunnels is launched in beta. We have these 200 beta users using the tool. One of those people is this guy called Mike Filsaime. Mike Filsaime just happens to be running an in-person online marketing event in San Diego and invites Russell to go down there to pitch. So Russell goes down there. He builds this 60-minute presentation where he talks presumably about ClickFunnels in a presentation about funnel hacking. It's a 60-minute presentation, and then at the end, he pitches the $1,000 product, which is this training teaching you how to do funnel hacking. And also included in that is 6 months free of ClickFunnels. So he delivers the talk, 38% of the room get up, run to the back, drop a cool $380,000 into Brunson or Russell and Mike's pocket. Now that's split 60-40, so Russell only gets 40% of that. But then he is like, wow, this is absolutely incredible, just made all this cash. How does this scale? He then reaches out to anybody he knows who has an audience in the online marketing space and takes that 60-minute presentation and runs that to various different audiences. So all to the same offer where we're having the $1,000 training with the 6 months of ClickFunnels included. And so even if he's not running this with a partner, let's try and break down the numbers on this process. Let's say he spent $10,000 on Facebook ads to this webinar and he achieves 2,000 attendees at $5 per lead. Maybe that's not possible anymore. Maybe it was around 5 years ago. And then he just needs to close 10 of those at a 0.5% buy rate at the $1,000 price point in order to get his money back. And so he has those 10 customers that have basically paid for those ads and will be getting the 6 months free of ClickFunnels included in that price point. But at the same time, and this is super clever, that on the thank you page after the opt-in for that webinar, whether it's him promoting it or one of his partners promoting it, is the link to the free trial of ClickFunnels, going through that funnel we just discussed in the previous growth lever. And so even if just 10% of the people that opt in convert into the trial, that's 200 people, 200 new trials from that you essentially have not paid for. And so this is what I was saying at the start of the episode about how we're able to use, or Russell is able to use, information and coaching to make it very profitable on the front end to acquire users of the software. And so yes, every 3 months, every 6 months, Russell might have a new course teaching how to do something in the world of online marketing. And every time they do that, maybe they just break even on that content, on that course, but then they're just driving all these people into the subscription, which is the core offer of Russell's business. Maybe you're not going to do this in the same aggressive manner, but maybe there are other things you can do, other things you can sell to enable you to then go out, spend more money to get people onto the subscription of your SaaS product. Growth lever number 4. So another acquisition strategy that the ClickFunnels team worked on during this time was the launch of another piece of information, as we were just discussing, called the Expert Secrets book. And this is essentially a step-by-step process explaining how people can build an audience and become the expert online. This is a classic online marketing funnel where you actually give the book away for free, just maybe charge for shipping, and then obviously upgrade with some like potential upsells to information after that. And then once you have people in that process, once you have people have consumed the book or have purchased the book, we can then also push them again into the ClickFunnels free trial. Essentially, here's the process again. So we're buying traffic, sending it to the landing page. We request the email address in exchange for the free gift, in this case, which is going to be the book. And then on thank you page, we can offer a small upsell for some further information. And then after that, we can bring people into the ClickFunnels free trial. So it was actually costing Russell and the ClickFunnels team $27 in ad spend to give away the free book. But then, of course, as people were moving through that funnel, they were getting exposed to the ClickFunnels free trial. And then they were also being exposed to ClickFunnels throughout the book that was sold. Selling tens, if not hundreds of thousands of books is educating people and moving people towards the ClickFunnels free trial, which is the main thing that ClickFunnels were trying to sell. And so again, it's this combination of using coaching, information, events, etc., to make money, make enough money, and also to educate people such that they need to change and move over to this new way of running websites. Growth lever number 5 is an affiliate program on steroids, kind of similar to the SEMrush episode with their affiliate program, which was incredibly successful for them. So when you're starting an affiliate program, there's a couple of problems that you need to solve. First, you need to find affiliates, and then you need to get affiliates to promote you. So ClickFunnels were able to solve this problem by having default on. I'm sure you've been to a ClickFunnels page, and in the bottom right, there's a little blue icon showing this page is made by ClickFunnels. So that was default on for all customers that came through. And on that link on that page, instead of it just linking to ClickFunnels, it would link automatically to the affiliate, or be an automatic affiliate link to that customer. So anybody that signed up for a ClickFunnels free trial would automatically become an affiliate. Unless they turned that off, it would be linking back to ClickFunnels, obviously, but with their affiliate link, so they would generate commission. So basically automatically providing customers for themselves or affiliates for themselves with every new free trial that signs up. Second thing is that they were able to advertise the affiliate program effectively. And I'll just read the headline on one of the sales pages or the information pages for affiliates. It was, join our affiliate program and let us buy your dream car for you. And so what they were essentially doing is paying out affiliate commissions or extra affiliate commissions if you chose to have them in the form of a car lease. Now, what that does is it enables ClickFunnels to create content that's really good at selling and motivating affiliates, because we have all these pictures of ClickFunnels affiliates with these crazy cars that they've been able to lease from the commission that ClickFunnels have been paying out. So two super clever things. A, automatically creating affiliates with every new free trial. And then B, changing the way they were able to offer their affiliate commission in order to help get this content, which can then perpetuate this increase in affiliate promotion because people get very excited about seeing these amazing cars. So again, this may not be something that you would want to do with your SaaS company, but these are super important things to try to understand, because maybe we don't want to go the full mile that ClickFunnels have. Maybe we just need to do part of it to improve numbers and to make businesses or your SaaS business more profitable. Growth lever number 6. And we've kind of already covered this. Brunson's very powerful personal brand. It's always easier to get attention for a person than for a brand. The person has a more engaging story. People are more easy to relate to. But then, of course, this is super useful when you're starting up the business. But as the business is growing, then it's also a risk, because if you are potentially looking for an acquisition, then all acquirers are basically looking, how much is the business making now? How much will it make in the future? And how assured can we be of future revenue without the existing team? And so obviously Russell Brunson basically being the face of ClickFunnels is a potential risk. It's worked really well because he's built this massive following, books, podcasts, etc. over various platforms. And that's driven obviously a shed load of business for ClickFunnels. But then the question is, what happens in the future? And so just a couple of things that he's been able to do to mitigate this risk is, instead of him doing all the webinars and doing all the sales, etc., he's had some of their best customers sign up and run those webinars and be more of the face of the brand, presumably either just giving them a chunk of ClickFunnels or ensuring that they're getting commission on anyone that's coming through those webinars. They've also created book funnels for other big online marketing players, such as Grant Cardone, Tai Lopez. So using that authority on those funnels instead of Russell's. And then ClickFunnels is obviously offered on the thank you page as we go through those funnels, just as we described in earlier growth levers. To summarize here, personal brands can be incredibly valuable. So your CEO or founder's brand can be incredibly valuable, especially in the early stages. But as we grow, we need to look for other ways to bring other people into the fold that are not necessarily the founder or CEO. Growth lever number 7. And of course, we're not finished talking about funnels because we're talking about ClickFunnels. And now we have the churn funnel. And I've actually seen more and more SaaS companies do more of this. It's essentially the process that somebody goes through if they want to cancel the product. And so we're quickly going to walk through ClickFunnels churn funnel right now. So we hit the first screen and then we click cancel subscription. Straight away, we get a video from Russell, of course, with options for feedback. So there, I'll just read out a couple: missing features, not using it enough, shutting down the business, too expensive. And then depending on which option you select, you're hit with another video from Russell with various different offers. So for example, if we hit the using us enough, then you get an option for a live training, you get an option to a paid training, and you get an option to join the weekly Q&A webinars they have with their customer support team. And so this is different for each different option, which is incredible. And then once you've done that, you get the option to either pause the account, and you can keep all of your files, all of your web pages live, etc., for $9.99 per month. And then if you don't want that, then you can file leave cancellation and completely remove that. So what they're doing is they have a different process to direct people to different content, different paid offers to do more affiliate promotion, etc., for different reasons for canceling. And then from there, you also have this option where you can pause. They keep some MRR, they keep the web pages hosted, and then they don't actually lose the customer. Much different from a typical SaaS cancellation where you might just go to one screen, hit cancel, and that is everything. I'm sure they've been testing this, and I'm sure this will be ultimately having a good impact on the reduction of churn. Growth lever number 8, an age-old tactic, making up an enemy to unify the community. So a couple of ways that ClickFunnels have done this. The first of which is VC, venture capital. So if you listen to Brunson's podcast, it's called Marketing Secrets, highly recommended. In the intro, he states, and I'll quickly read this out. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that enables us to get our products and services out into the world whilst remaining profitable? So what that's doing is basically saying that anybody who raises money is cheating. And so anybody that isn't raising money is obviously like, wow, this is my podcast. This is my type of person that I need to listen to, and ClickFunnels is for me. The other enemy that they created actually earlier on in the process was another similar tool called Infusionsoft. I mistook that for the name they suggested. They actually created t-shirts with the text saying, "We are not Confusionsoft," because the nickname for Infusionsoft was Confusionsoft because it was so complicated to figure out how to work. And so these are two different ways that ClickFunnels have been able to call out an enemy to bring people or attract the people to them who have similar beliefs. But this isn't the only thing that ClickFunnels and really any kind of cult will use to strengthen their community. The first is calling out the common enemy. Second is having a staircase of status to climb. And an example of this, and not necessarily a good example, I'm not condoning his behavior at all, was the guy who started Bikram Yoga. I watched the documentary about him. I think it's on Netflix. And what he was able to do was build this kind of ladder of authority where you become a student, you could then become a teacher, you then become a teacher trainer, and then ultimately he was at the top of the pyramid. And it's kind of every level you get closer to Bikram, who was like the Jesus. Again, I'm not saying ClickFunnels is a cult, but you can climb up different levels of the ClickFunnels ecosystem. So you can become a software subscriber, a platinum ClickFunnels subscriber, you can become a 1 Comma Club member, a 2 Comma Club member, the Inner Circle member, and all these ladder steps get you closer to Russell, who's like almost the Jesus. And so just having this status ladder can help strengthen people to the community. Next up is a manifesto. So ClickFunnels have one. I'll read out a couple of different lines from this. So a funnel hacker is a new breed of entrepreneur, smarter, leaner, faster, and free. A funnel hacker creates value and puts ethics before conversions. And so these are all the things they're saying about the people that live within their community. And it really clearly shows who should be part of the community and who should not. Next up, most cults also have a holy place. So if you think about America, this is probably like Washington. If you think about Disney, this is Disney World in Florida. If you think about Playboy, this is Hugh Hefner's mansion. And so this is exactly the same. ClickFunnels have Funnel Hacking Live, which is the 3-day holy pilgrimage where you will have massive speakers. And obviously Russell will also be speaking as well. Method of recognition. As we mentioned, there's something called the 2 Comma Club, where once people have managed to drive $1 million of revenue through a ClickFunnels webpage, and obviously ClickFunnels can see this because they can track the payments, you get into the 2 Comma Club and you get sent this kind of disc that you can put on your socials to really show your authority within the group. These are all things that ClickFunnels do to build that community. And you can always tell when a brand has cult level status like Disney, like Playboy, when people get tattoos. And so we'll link to the blog post below where I've kind of written out all these growth levers. If you go there and you search for tattoo, you'll see one person from ClickFunnels with the tattoo. So these are the things you can do. And again, maybe you won't do them so extreme, but you can do them in order to build a community around your product. Growth lever 9. Let's talk about expansion and upsells. So the main ClickFunnels product for the web page funnel builder is $97 per month. And then what ClickFunnels did strategically well, in my opinion, was then looking at what else you need if you are building a sales funnel. So you may need affiliate account creation and tracking for your own affiliates. You may need follow-up emails, texts. You may need marketing automation and then payment processing. So these are 4 things that ClickFunnels were able to produce once they had the revenue generated from the main product. And then it's just a super easy upsell from once you have your web page builder to having all those 4 things connected in one thing. This is called bundling in the world of business strategy. And some people are not happy with it. For example, Microsoft getting their talons into enterprise customers and then giving away other products like Teams for cheap or free, which is then taking market share away from Slack because they can give it away for free and they'll slowly increase the price over time, but they can initially give it away for free. And that company is going to choose that because it integrates better with all the other products they're using via Microsoft. This is exactly what ClickFunnels have done very effectively with the $97 for the web page builder and then the $297 price point for everything else you need really to run a effective sales funnel. So the question here is, are there other adjacent products you can build that make a lot more sense to sell together with the one thing that you have? Growth lever number 10, how can you bring your customers and your partners along with you on the journey? One of the things I really love about what Russell does with his personal brand is he also shares behind the scenes stuff, specifically on the Marketing Secrets podcast. And what he's doing, or one example of this, is he decided to shut down a $5 million revenue stream. It was the inner circle that he ran, maybe paid $25,000 to go to these events. So he decided to shut these down and he recorded 2 separate podcast episodes explaining why he was doing this. And at the same time, he also was setting a goal of selling 1 million copies of Expert Secrets and tracking his progress along with this goal. These things, yes, maybe he's like letting people behind the scenes, his competitors can steal his ideas, etc. But actually what he's doing here really is using these strategies to get more attention. And this kind of works, right? Because people that want to buy ClickFunnels are interested in selling more books. They're interested in high cost masterminds that are being shut down. All this stuff he does so, I believe he does so in order to generate extra attention, but at the same time, building that relationship. If he's sharing how something maybe didn't go so well or did go so well, he's building his character with the audience in order to make them essentially like him more, trust him more, so he can ultimately sell more software, which is the main thing that ClickFunnels are trying to do. So let's quickly recap the growth levers from the story. We have 10 in total. So 1, build a personal brand as you move through your career. It's going to really help, especially in the early stages of a business. How can you show the world that your software works? And this was the point regarding when you go through to collect a free trial of ClickFunnels, they actually show you how to build an awesome funnel. Next up, how can you incorporate education into your customer acquisition process, ideally also charging for it so you can sell more software. Next up, number 4, is there a low risk, high value offer you can make in order to convert more of your customers? And this was related to the free book funnel. Growth lever number 5, how do you best incentivize your partners and affiliates? Growth lever number 6, who is the face of your business and how can you build their profile? Number 7, how can you do something in the churn funnel to ideally reduce churn, but also maybe a lower downsell in order to keep that person as a paying customer? Growth lever number 8, can you build a universe or a cult around the product with the different strategies we discussed, such as calling out an enemy or building the status ladder? Number 9, once you've dominated the initial market or you have significant revenue from that first product, what are the adjacent products that your customers may already be paying for that you can bundle into your offering? And number 10, how can you bring your customers and partners along with you on the journey to build your attractive character to ultimately enable you to influence them more? So that's the story, 10 growth levers that have enabled ClickFunnels to get to $160 million in revenue in roughly 7 to 8 years. And the summary here for me is that yes, maybe you're not going to go so extreme and have 3 different upsells on the free trial process or have a churn funnel that have 8 different variations. And maybe you're not going to start an annual event where you're going to be selling $1,000 courses from the stage. But there are things that I think any SaaS business can learn from this case study to help get closer or to optimize numbers just like ClickFunnels do. And even if you just take 1 or 2 things away, maybe how to create an affiliate account with everyone that signs up and to have that affiliate link on everything that person produces. I think just one of those small things can have a big impact on any SaaS company. So I hope that was valuable. I want to thank you so much for listening. We must also give a shout out to Samurai Links, a B2B link building agency that's offering a comprehensive, complimentary optimization report. So you go to this link, you then give them some URLs on your page. They will come back to you explaining how to rank these harder. The link for that, harder, higher. The link for that is going to be in the show notes below. Must also give a shout out to Fame.so, the producers of this show. Link will be in the show notes. And of course, thanks to Russell Brunson and the rest of the ClickFunnels team for creating an awesome business and case study. And then of course, thanks to you for listening.